I'm guessing you had a really good night's sleep. You get onto the ice today. James Neal is out there. Can you update us on his availability for tomorrow?
He's a possibility for tomorrow. He's put some good work in, so we wanted to get him through a full team practice here. He's been skating hard, but this is our first full team practice in about 10 days, so we wanted to see him get him through a practice, and we'll see where he is in the morning and whether he can be an option for us.
You always say you like to look at a game after, and so I don't know if you've had a chance yet to do that, but you really, I'm assuming, liked your defensive play. Well, is there any small details? Like, does your offense 5-on-5, because it's, outside of the Vancouver game, you haven't scored a ton of goals 5-on-5 from your forwards. Do you just need more competitiveness around the crease from your forwards in the ozone?
You know what? All I heard all summer was all you guys talking about how we couldn't defend, and now all I hear is you can't score. So that game last night, it was a tightly checked game. You had McDavid against Matthews all night. It was a tight checking game. There wasn't space for either team. So yeah, well, we'd like to score more. Yeah, we'd like to score more, but the other team has a say in that. Just like we had a say in Toronto not scoring. So you're always looking for things to improve, but it's almost funny to me how everybody talked all summer about Toronto and Edmonton have to defend better, and then Toronto and Edmonton actually defend well, and now they think it's a bad hockey game. So that it just baffles me sometimes hearing what's going on.
Next question, Mark Spector, Sportsnet.
So that's the kind of where we're going is.
Yeah, exactly. I knew you were going there.
Well, you played this defensive game last night that's really, really strong, and you're probably not going to get that game every night. You're a coach. I mean, you want it, but you're not going to get it every
Well,
night.
things happen in a game. You get a bad bounce one way or another, and then the game changes. You got to open up, but you're playing to win the game. The ultimate goal is sometimes you have to play. Your offense has to win it. Sometimes your defense has to win it. But ultimately, if you play a strong game, you give yourself a better chance to win, and that's what we did last night.
Right, and I assume you feel that, like with the games that you weren't winning earlier, came with 4 or 5 breakaways going the other way.
Exactly.
You're never winning that game. So, I mean, I suppose it's an obvious question, but can you say to yourself last night, we eliminated almost all of that and gave ourselves a chance to win a hockey game, even if no matter how it was played?
That's exactly it. If we didn't wanted to just entertain the fans, we might as well just have a shootout and call it who wins and loses, right? We don't want a shootout. We want to win a hockey game. And those hockey games that are tight like that are closer to playoff style games than they are the 8-7 games. So I'll take 2-1 games all day as long as we're winning.
Jack Michael, 6-3 Chad.
Dave, I wanted to ask you in particular the area between the dots, because the only chance I can think of that Toronto got in that specific area, McDavid blocked a shot, I think it was from Marner. Was that particular area of focus, or is it a case of every game it's a focus and you just happen to execute it much better last night?
I would say we executed it much better last night. Our attention to detail was better in defending last night, and I think I really think a lot of it is getting on the road, getting out where you feel like you just have to play just a really sound game. That's our first game on the road since last March, and the guys came out and played a real sound game. So those are things we talk about all the time. It's just a matter of not making the mistakes to give things away and making sure you're taking care of the spaces that are dangerous, high scoring spaces in your own end.
And secondly, is there an argument to be made that for what he's expected to deliver, Yamamoto has been your most consistent player through 5 games, having gotten a good bounce on the first goal and set up the power play to win it in the third?
He's really competitive. He wins a lot of battles. His forecheck is excellent. When you go through a game and you look at all the little plays that happen, he makes a lot of those little plays. And he's, there's players that go into a battle and somehow they don't come up with a puck very often, and there's players that go into a battle and they come up with a puck a lot. And Yamo's one of those guys that comes up with the puck a lot, keeps a lot of plays going, and that's why you notice him in the play.
Derek Van Diest, Post Media.
Hi, I just want to ask about Devon Shore and how you think he's fitting in. And he looks like a guy that can come in and really provide a lot of energy for you on that bottom six.
He's played well. He's a smart player. Versatile player, kind of a jack of all trades. We've tried him a little bit on the wing, a little bit at center, but each game he's getting a little better and getting a little bigger role on our team. And he's a player. As a coach, you know what you're going to get from him. He understands the game, understands how you want to play situations, and understands the time of the game, and how to play accordingly. So he's a good pro, a good veteran. He's been a good pickup for us.
How much did you know about him before you picked him up, and how much are you learning about him now that you get to see him on an everyday basis?
Well, I've known him around the league. I've known some people that knew him well from Dallas that I talked to, and there was a lot of people that were high on him. Last couple of years, he hasn't got as much chance as he'd like, but he's come in here and grabbed an opportunity, and he's doing well with it so far.
Ryan Rashog, TSN.
Dave, I wonder, through the course of a season, I know lots of players and coaches try not to pay much attention to what's being said in the media and things that are out there. Is it more difficult this year, just given, there's kind of less distractions, there's less places for you to go. Will it be more of an effort for all of you to tune that stuff out when there's so much time spent, unable to distract yourselves?
I think you tune it out anyway. That's for you guys put on the hype that you want in the game. The players have to understand that the game that's in front of them is the one's got to be played. So the media doesn't dictate how the game's played. The players dictate how the game's played. So that's the players' feeling. I know that's the coach's feeling.
Do you think tuning it out will be more difficult this year?
No, I don't think it's any different than any other year.
Thanks.
Last question, Jason Gregor, TSN 1260.
Even in 3 of your 5 games, you've done a really good job of limiting 5-on-5 scoring chances, right? Games 1 and 3, I know you didn't like, but is it easier now for you to go in because you've had 3, so 60% of your games with pretty solid defensive efforts 5-on-5?
Well, that was a focus coming into the year, is we have to be a better defending team, and for the most part we've done it. There's been some areas where I think we've been loose, and some of that is making some mistakes. Some of that is I don't think we've put the enough oomph into getting the defending job done, where you're getting beat one-on-one. So if we continue to improve on that, we'll give ourselves a better chance to win. And our power play got us a big goal last night. It was in a bit of a rut here, but we're getting lots of chances. You got to end up scoring. So the 5-on-5 play is something that we've really pounded on from day one at camp, and there's been some positive signs. Still, so lots of room for improvement. But if we keep moving the right direction, I think we'll become a better team.
2 late ones here, Adam Cook, then Mark Spector. Go ahead, Adam.
Dave, speaking of hype, obviously as soon as the schedule came out, everybody was talking about, one of the big matchups, McDavid versus Austin Matthews, 9 times. There was talk about that leading up to last night's game as well. Maybe the last kind of real good rivalry we had between star players in the NHL was Ovechkin versus Crosby. Mm-hmm. I understand McDavid and Matthews trained together last summer down in Arizona, but do you see the potential there for a rivalry between star players like these two, or do you think that's from a bygone era? You're not really going to see these guys training together now and stuff.
No, I think they're both superior athletes that want to win. So the games are, and that's you look at it. Both players played hard. They played head to head against each other. They both want to win, and they both want to make it hard on each other to score, and that's why it's a tight game. So I know they're good friends. I saw them both skating down in Arizona before we came back. They were having fun on the ice. They were playing together, but they get in here. They both want to win. They want to lead their teams to victory, and they know they have to play well offensively, but they have to play well defensively too. So it's I think it's. You call it a rivalry. I just call it real good players competing hard against each other to try to win for their team. So I think you're going to see great matchups all, because of the format this year.